Jim from OSR Garage. How are you today, Jim?
Well, I'm kind of in the middle of COVID right now, but doing all right. I got my circus peanuts
Nice,
and
circus
my
peanuts.
coffee, so I think I'll try to make through it. If I got to get up and leave the screen, it's probably because I had to blow my nose because I can't breathe. But
Yeah, that won't be fun, will it? Um, that won't be very fun having to get up and leave during this exciting show today. But we'll figure it out.
boy, we already got somebody posted already.
I can't see the comments. That's what I was waiting to load here. Do you see comments? Oh, here comes
Yeah,
the
it
first
says
one. Okay, we have William.
yeah. You want to read it? You want me to read it?
Oh, sure. You can read it, or I can, either or.
Okay.
So let's start off here by thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Tonight, our topic is the Fisker Ocean One not selling out. We're also going to cover a couple other things tonight, like the photos and videos that Henrik and Fisker Inc. have been posting around Henrik Fisker's new test car, and then lastly, we're going to talk about the Fisker earnings call. So what to expect there. That's Wednesday of next week, actually 1 week from today. So we're going to cover some topics there as well. And if we have some time, we actually have some bonus content or bonus things to talk about as well. It just depends on how Jim's feeling and how we're doing here, seeing if we have questions, too many questions, all that stuff. So we'll give some, if you guys want to start off by letting us know where you're at, that might be kind of fun, so we know kind of where people are across the globe that are listening in tonight. It looks like there's a few people.
Yep. Hi.
So yeah, go ahead and let us
Steve
know.
Cole.
Yeah, Cole. Hi, Kevin. And if you're on, and just so we know, just so everyone knows, we're streaming obviously live on YouTube. We're streaming on Twitter. And then we're also streaming live on Facebook. So those three places. We're streaming on the Fiskarati channel as well as the OSR Garage channel. Hi, Vincent from San Diego. Hi, Kevin from Houston, Texas. Jeff from Atlanta.
Thomas from
Don't know
Decatur. Thomas is right over by me.
312, is that the 312? We got a 312 in Chicago. That's Adjunct Junk 4321, Durham, North Carolina. So we got people from all over. Yep. Gary, let's see here. Sean got a haircut and a shave. I did. And believe it or not, I did this haircut myself. I did this last night. I did the shave earlier in the day. I did the haircut.
You didn't put the lines in the side.
No, I might do that. I might brand a Fisker logo right here. That would be kind of fun, wouldn't it? A Fisker. How about when the Fisker Ocean sells out, the Fisker Ocean One? I'll get a big one right here. I'll do a one. How does that sound? Let's see a thumbs up in the comments if I should get a brand right here with a little shave. That'd be kind of fun. So we have people from all over. Keep coming them in. So pump in your comments in there so we can see where everyone is. Fremont, California, because that's kind of fun. This show's more for everyone else.
Montreal.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Toronto, Downers Grove, Illinois, East Hampton, Connecticut.
Down by me too. Downers Grove's closer by Chicago, but
sunny LA. Okay, we got a fair number of people. There's 78 people watching right now. Hello, everybody. Okay, so let's get going. So I ended up posting a few articles today. I did one at the very beginning of the day that helped tell everybody about this particular live stream. And I would say it was probably the most heated article that I've ever posted so far. There were people on several different social media sites that were very angry at me for saying that the Fisker Ocean One is not sold out. They said, how do you know it's not sold out? And it didn't take too much effort to find out, but it was really easy because a lot of people actually messaged me on Twitter at the crack of dawn. The first Twitter post that I got was from somebody actually in Northern Ireland this morning. And as you know, Northern Ireland is a part of the United Kingdom. Southern Ireland is not. So UK is going to get their right-hand drive Fisker Oceans in June of next year. And somebody told me from Northern Ireland that they got the Fisker Ocean One invite on June 25th. They got it today, but they reserved on June 25th. Now, that is kind of an anomaly compared to all the other messages I got. So June 25th, that's only like a month ago, right? But
Yeah.
as you know, Fisker Oceans, as we've been told, and we don't know the definition of regions, but we do know that Fisker Oceans are limited based on region. Now, that could be country, that could be dividing countries up into, different geographies. We're not sure, but, it could be continents, who knows? So in Northern Ireland, this gentleman got an invite on June 25th. He chose to not reserve or pre-order the Fisker Ocean One. He's going to wait for the Ultra. Now, I'm going to throw up a whole bunch of stuff here, and we're going to go through some of the comments, some of the trims that people chose, just to kind of set the record straight. How did I know this? Why did I post that? I actually got hate email, and just so everybody knows, I do this as a hobby. This is just for fun. This isn't a business. I even got, hey, you're doing clickbait stuff in the comment of the article, and I'm like, clickbait for what? I don't even advertise on the site. There's no advertisements on the site. What am I clickbaiting for? So I'm just an investor in Fisker. I have a lot of shares in Fisker. Jim can contest to, I have a lot of shares in Fisker, and that's my only interest. So like maybe a lot of the people on this call, you may also have an investment in Fisker. I have a very sizable investment in Fisker. And that was one of the main reasons why I started Fiskarati, was to keep track of everything. So I'm keeping a pulse on a lot of stuff, and I write about it, and I'm sharing it. And some people like that I share the stuff. Some people very much dislike that I share this stuff. Certain social media sites like that I post. Certain social media sites dislike that I post. Some say that I post too much. Some say that I don't post enough. So it's a fine balance. It's hard to please everybody. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, and let me show you what I saw this morning. So the first one, I'm not going to share the tweet just because the person has their tweets private, and I don't want to share something that should probably be private. So let me share my screen. I'm going to do that. We'll start going through. We're going to start off with the Fiskarati Forum. Now, there's something at the top there that you can actually follow along on. I posted something about a month ago, and on that site there is a poll, and the poll actually asks, have you pre-ordered the Fisker Ocean One? So we'll throw that up here on the screen. Hopefully everyone can see my screen now, and we have. There we go. So let me throw Jim and myself over to the right, and let me actually, that's good for now. 1 second. We're going to remove this bad boy too for the time being. All right, here we go. So this is the Fiskarati Forum. I asked this question on July 7th, actually. So it was 20 days ago. Have you pre-ordered the Fisker Ocean One? As of today, we've had a fair number of people answer the poll. 225 people say they have pre-ordered the Fisker Ocean One. That happens to be 4.5% of all people who could potentially pre-order a Fisker Ocean One. So 4.5% of the people have responded to this poll on the Fiskarati forums. Now, let's start at the very bottom here. I actually bookmark all these, but it's not working. So we're just gonna tap that, and let's see. Okay, there we go. So we have our very most recent post. This person just joined an hour ago and said, hey, reservation date, May 28th. Now, before I go through all these, as I mentioned, that anomaly, the person from Northern Ireland, they were the only person I seen all day that reserved their Fisker Ocean in June, and they had a June 25th date. So I was saying, Fisker Oceans are allocated based on region. We don't know what region is. So Northern Ireland, there's probably not too many people that have reserved a Fisker Ocean potentially, or in the UK that want to pre-order Fisker Ocean One. So they're going out now to June 25th. Whereas every other post that I have is from the United States, with the exception of Canada. Now, here's one right here, North Carolina, and this member might actually be on the live stream, or I don't know what's this called, our live stream. So if you are, go ahead and give a shout out. Voki Sand. So they ended up reserving on the 28th, pre-order date today, July 27th. They got the Great White Air Gliders and Malibu interior. Okay, there's one. I don't want to have to go through all these, but I'm going to go through a few just so we can nip this in the bud here. That one was July 25th. Here is another one right here. Pre-order date, July 27th. Reservation date, May 31st. And they did the big blue, Bleaksir Blue at 22 F3 Slipstream wheels. And then we're going to go to one more page. So every day people post comments and things like that. And I'm going to scroll down here real quick, start at the bottom, kind of go in order. Today I received the email. So we're at July 27th, 7:40 a.m. Today I received the email to pre-order the Fisker Ocean One. My reservation date was May 25th. I declined the option to order and will await to order the Ultra. So there's another. Let's see here. Maybe I should just do one more right here. Received invitation this morning. This is 6:22 a.m. and this is 6:22 Pacific time where I'm at. So that would have been 9:22 a.m. This person's time. So they received the invite this morning and they're not ordering yet. They're waiting for the Ultra. Reservation date May 25th, Central Florida. Now there's quite a few of them in here. You guys can go through them all yourself if you want. This person said, woohoo, oh, that's the 26. Okay, I'll take that one back. That's the 26. But you can kind of go through and get the idea. There's a few other ones that I linked to, but you get the idea. I got about quite a few people, I should say, messaging me today about this. And that's how I find out. You know, people post the stuff online and I'm just paying attention. And the cool thing is with the Fiskarati Forum, it just makes it super easy. I get the emails to my inbox. So on that post right there, because I did that post, so they come to my inbox and I don't have to go check to the site. I can just actually look at the emails and be like, okay, somebody just got their email invite and they pre-ordered or they want to wait for the Ultra. So that's how I know. So the Fisker Ocean, as of when I posted that post or that article this morning, Jim, that it was not sold out. Now, it's not to say that this afternoon it did, right, sold out, or it won't sell out. It might sell out tomorrow, or it might sell out this weekend, or it might sell out next week before the earnings call. But as of right then, it wasn't sold out, and that's the first thing I wanted to talk about today. So, does anyone have questions in the chat about that bad boy? They may have. I'm not sure, but Gary Lee, I think I've seen you on the Fiskarati forums. You are waiting for the Ultra. Probably just saw yours. Let's see here. Canadian invites were about 1 month ahead of US and Europe. Now, we did see one person from Canada. I probably scrolled right through it too quickly. They didn't say when they ended up reserving, but they were from Canada and they got their invite today. We also saw people across several different sites that reserved on May 16th, May 19th. So May 16th was Southeast USA, May 19th, USA, May 25th, Central Florida, that one I mentioned, May 30th, California, May 28th, North Carolina, May 31st, Ohio, June 25th, Northern Ireland. So there's 7 that I rattled off there for you. So there we have it. The Fisker Ocean, as of this morning, as I mentioned, was not sold out. I put a link actually in the article that links to that post. I unfortunately didn't do it when I published it, but since there was so much hoopla, I like that word hoopla, I thought may as well go back and put a link there so people can look at it themselves. I thought it was pretty obvious, but I guess it wasn't.
Yeah, I can't believe that, when the first one that we did, we were trying to figure out if it was even going to make it to 7,000 or 8,000 people. And
that's right.
It's basically gone just about through the entire list.
We did that on what day did we do that? The Wednesday before it's the Wednesday before. So they ended up doing the thing on the Friday. We ended up doing that show on the Wednesday. So a couple of days before, it was our celebration of the Fisker Ocean One. And we're pumped. we love the Fisker Ocean One, or at least I do. I pre-ordered the thing. So the one thing we didn't know though, Jim, right? If you remember, is the non-refundable deposit. We didn't know that. So everybody who ran a poll, whether they did it on Twitter or a forum, wherever it may have been, nobody had that detail. The only people that had that detail were Fisker employees. If we knew that detail, our predictions and our guesses would have been totally different. So that plays into it. That non-refundable deposit. It's a lot of people just have to take the plunge, and you have to hope that Fisker delivers. And I believe Fisker's been delivering quite strongly since I've been following them as the new Fisker Inc. So that would be, I don't know, June, July of 2020. And it's been exciting. It's an exciting ride. I wish I would have started the Fiskarati site back then, because I don't know. I think it would have been much more useful back then as well than maybe it is today. Who knows? So anyhow,
somebody had asked if I had ordered it, and I got the invitation, but no, I have not. We weren't in a position at the moment to go ahead and do that, and we're looking at planning on getting one through next year. So because I got a reservation on the Ford Lightning too, so that one will be coming up first probably. Then we'll have to see how things go. And right now, looking at the Extreme, but we may end up getting the Ultra and just adding a few little extra things on there that we want. So I'm not exactly sure what we're going to be looking at that point.
There you go. Yeah, that Ford Lightning is really nice. It is nice. It'd be great if Fisker ends up actually re-releasing photos or their design for what they called at one point the Alaska. It was a truck. It looked kind of funky. It looked futuristic. Maybe I can throw up a photo of it. But have you seen that? I'm sure you've seen that, right?
Yes. I saw the picture of it, and from what I could see, it looks like it's probably around the size of the Ford Ranger, or the Rivian, maybe. Somewhere in that size range. It doesn't look like it's a full-size truck.
It doesn't?
So,
the bed looks a little short, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think it looks more like it's going to be a Rivian type truck, something that you're going to be able to go off-roading, and like being called the Alaska would be like something that would probably be set up for snow and that type of thing. Especially, being across seas, they have a lot of areas where it's pretty low. Yeah, that's not going to go through snow very well if it's that low to the ground.
No, but it does look pretty futuristic.
That to me tells me that it's not even the size of the Rivian, unless it's got a air suspension on it that lifts up and stuff. But
and those wheels actually look, I'm going to say, similar to the air gliders for the Fisker Ocean, a very similar type of pattern. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah. So let's see here. I had something else. I had something else about the Fisker Ocean One. What was it? Oh, I thought of this today. I was out running, and I ended up thinking, well, what if Fisker doesn't sell out the Fisker Ocean One pre-orders before November 17th? Will they start producing on the November 17th date? And I thought about that for a while, and I'm like, of course they will.
Well,
at least that's what I thought. They're going to start fulfilling all the orders for the people who already pre-ordered the Fisker Ocean One, because they want to generate cash flow, and they want to start selling them out. or they want to start delivering them. So you can expect, whether they're sold out, hopefully it sells out, before the earnings call. And this will, this show will be stupid, and people will be like, you guys shouldn't even have posted that article. They sold out before the earnings call.
You're right.
But I still think that they will, certainly. As I thought of that question, if Fisker doesn't sell out the car by the time November 17th rolls around, will they actually produce the Fisker Ocean ones on that date? And I believe the answer to that's yes. Anyone can make a guess, but I would have to just logically think through it and think they need the cash flow, they need more money coming in, and people will see them on the road at some point. They're going to sell out, but hopefully we don't get to that point.
I don't think that that's going to be an issue. They're gonna go ahead and produce them. I mean, you're not going to miss your date of producing your trucks that you've been saying that you're going to be are producing your cars on this certain date, you're not going to miss that just because you haven't sold out all of them.
That's right.
I would expect then whenever they opened up ordering for the next group, then they would basically, if you wanted an extreme, if they were planning on getting the extreme, they didn't want to put down the money for the one, then they would probably have the option until the one was sold out of choosing the extreme or the one whenever they ordered, and then just go from there.
Now, here's kind of dovetail. So we can keep talking about the Ocean One. I'm sure we'll come up with other stuff that we can talk about. And if you have questions about the Ocean One, maybe Jim's seen them. I haven't. I'm the one fidgeting with all the different windows and images and all that fun stuff. While Jim just tries to hang in there with the COVID. So here we go. I'm going to throw this up. So this kind of dovetails into Fisker Ocean One earnings call next week. If we take a look here at this right now on the screen, this is something called Say Technologies. It's the Say platform. It is a service that Fisker is using, their investor relations uses, to generate questions from retail investors to ask on the Q&A part of the Fisker earnings conference call. So the earnings will be released next week on Wednesday, August 3rd, after the market close, usually about 1:15 Pacific time. And then at 2 o'clock, usually, the company ends up hosting a conference call. Now, the questions on this platform are actually quite interesting. Let's see if I can blow it up further. There we go. That's better. So if you look at this, so like the reason I said I'm going to pull this up now, I was going to talk about this later, but this question right here. So top question on here, 181 shareholders have voted on this. It represents 153.9 thousand shares. So they ask, how many of the 5,000 Ocean One are actually spoken for? When will you be able to share rollout plans, including when reservation holders can expect delivery in their market? So Fisker said that on October 31st, they will share when Fisker Oceans will be delivered, not just for the Ocean One, but for the Extreme, the Ultra, and the Sport. So we have to wait for that October 31st date is the date that they have on their website in the frequently asked questions. So that's the date that we will wait for to find out when they'll be delivered. But that first part of the question is basically what we're talking about. The Fisker Ocean One's not sold out. Now, this question was actually submitted, I want to say 2 or 3 days ago. This platform opened up, it opened up 3 days ago, maybe 2 days ago. So this was one of the first questions that were on there, and then people asked that. Let's see here. What the next top one? We'll go through like the top 5 because some of them are interesting. Some of them aren't so interesting, but some of them are interesting. So this one, Paul D asks, when do you anticipate having test vehicles made available for reservation holders to sit in, as well for reviewers? This to me is where we'll start to see interest and momentum in the brand from the general public. So Fisker has said, and now this is kind of interesting, the website, if you go to the website, they still haven't updated the website. It still shows, I want to say, either says November 22 or end of 2022. But the investor presentation, which was updated on June 8th, I have to go through the file cabinet of dates up here. It was actually, it actually said early 2023. So that's one thing I'm starting to see a lot of. Is around certain features are showing up in certain places and they're not showing up in other places on the site, in press kits, and they were once in certain places and now they're not in certain places. So things are, moving a little bit, and I'm totally fine with that. Some people are super frustrated about that. I'm pretty lenient. I understand. I've worked at a startup, and I know things change, and that's totally cool. But it makes it hard when you write an article. Now people are like, hey, it says this in the article, but it doesn't say that on the website, or it says this on the website, it doesn't say that in an article. So it's another one of those people getting upset at me, Jim, for writing articles.
Yeah, yeah. I get a few. I get comments on my videos, so it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, got a grain of salt, I suppose, some of them. So here's another one. How many reservations are there for Ocean and Pear to date, and when will we see a bit more tease of the Ronin? So we know a little bit about that. We know as of June 8th, the investor presentation was actually probably June 2nd is when they mentioned it, but it was on the annual shareholder meeting. But there was 50,000 reservations. That was the last press release that has went out by Fisker was 50,000. Henrik Fisker ended up going to the Deutsche Bank Auto conference. It was a fireside chat. Him and Frank, the head of investor relations, I believe, they attended the fireside chat, and Henrik actually announced on that there was 51,000 reservations. We've been tracking. I did an article on it last week, and it was actually, the article was called Fisker Ocean Progress Report. I don't know if you saw that one, Jim, or not. But that one, actually, I threw out my prediction of what reservation numbers would be. I'm saying they're going to be at 58,000 net reservations for the Fisker Ocean, and that would be roughly 1,000 reservations per week, since Henrik Fisker said they had 51,000 reservations. And I want to say that was either that Deutsche Bank conference was either June 13th or 14th, somewhere like that. So then we heard as well, so the Pear, don't quote me on the exact number, but I want to say it's either 3,000 or 3,200 that was mentioned at the annual shareholder meeting on June 2nd. If somebody knows in the comments, maybe they can throw the date down there, or the exact number, probably the exact number. That's what we need. But so those are the top three questions. I don't want to spend a lot of time, but if you haven't already posted a question, go ahead and post a question here, and you can end up. I don't know. There's a bunch of them, so you can read through those if you want. But yeah, those are the questions that people can ask now. I want to see the company talk about a few things. I want to see them give us an update, Jim, on the Fisker Ocean One program as a whole.
Yeah.
I want to see them talk specifically about the capacity of production. So we saw, and I went to Palm Springs the other week, and we didn't do a call last week or a video last week, did we? We did.
No,
one
I did
that.
one.
So
you did.
You did. Yeah, you invited me to that. That's right. Yeah, I couldn't make it back in time, so thank you for the invite. So that week, I saw it for the first time. Maybe people seen it forever, but the thing that I noticed, and I think Jim mentioned it to me a couple days before I posted the article, when you go through the, hey, I'm not interested in pre-ordering a Fisker Ocean One, there's actually production dates listed. And the production dates called out every single Fisker Ocean trim. So the one that was most interesting to me was the Fisker Ocean Sport. They actually pulled the date forward, meaning they would produce it sooner. They originally said, it's still on their website, I messaged, or I linked it to the article, but it basically said that they were going to originally produce the Fisker Ocean Sport at the end of 2023. Now, Q4 to me would be the end of 2023. Q4 is definitely further to the end of 2023 than Q3 is which they listed there. So that's interesting. So maybe capacity has increased, and we're going to end up seeing a lot more vehicles being produced at Magna over in Graz, Austria. And I think
I would say the other option is that when they're going through these and people are bypassing, like when you bypass, it asks you what your preferred trim is going to be. And maybe they've gotten a lot of people saying the Ultra and the Sport and realize that they're going to end up fulfilling the Extreme and the Ultra, and moving the Ultra and the Sport will be moving up in priority.
Correct. That's right. That's right. So it's like, maybe while demand might still be strong for the Extreme and the that particular trim, maybe there's more demand for the Ultra, and maybe even the
Right.
Sport. So the rubber kind of hit the road for Fisker when they opened up pre-ordering of the Fisker Ocean One. And they got a lot of great data that they may not have had
Right.
before. So, for example, for everybody on this call, I would imagine has gone and played with the Fisker Ocean configurator. If you haven't played with the Fisker Ocean configurator, let us know in the comments. But you probably don't want to tell everybody that you haven't used the Fisker Ocean configurator.
Yeah.
So
I just keep checking to see if they've
that.
updated it, done something different.
Yeah.
And those new wheels,
So
I
one
want those
thing in
those
there,
other wheels, and they're not on there.
they're not on there yet, are they? They're not on
I
there.
tried to get.
We're gonna have to ask.
I tried to get them to respond on Instagram, but they didn't respond.
No, yeah, those never made the cut. So the interesting thing is when you go play with the configurator. So up until the Fisker Ocean One pre-orders opening on, I don't know, beginning of July, was it July 5th or somewhere thereabouts? The Fisker Ocean configurator lets you save your preference of your Ocean. Now, a lot of people, they defaulted originally, I want to say, to the extreme. So when people ended up going and playing with the configurator, their default selection was the extreme. They could go up and change and say, hey, I want an Ultra, I want a Sport. Fisker, I'm guessing, they said they did surveys, and they probably did surveys to some people, but I never saw any survey posted online. So maybe, who knows who they surveyed. But what I'm getting at is a lot of people may have said they wanted an extreme on the configurator, but now that the rubber's hitting, meeting the road, or hitting the road, rubber's hitting the road, meeting the road, they are given the choice of, Fisker Ocean One, Extreme, Ultra, and Sport. And, they're not getting as many Ocean One takers. And maybe, like you said, they're going to end up getting more Ultras and Sports, which is why they maybe pulled the dates forward.
Right.
So who knows? Maybe so going back to the earnings call, that's what I hope the company actually talks about, is the capacity. Have they expanded capacity? What's the demand signal that they're getting from the Fisker Ocean pre-ordering, which I'm sure they have it dialed in now. And it looks like somebody had a good point here. I just see good point, Jerry. What did Jerry talk about here? Supplies could dictate the trim level as well. Yeah? What else do we have here?
Tom down here, he asked, can they possibly sell a car for $37,500 price point in 2023? I don't see why not. I mean, that's part of the reason that they release the higher trim levels first, so they get that revenue generated and started, and that makes it possible to hit those lower price points. They did the same thing. It's kind of like what Ford did with the Lightning at the beginning. The first year, they were only going to produce 15,000. So they set up to where you could only order so many of each trim. So they had like 5,000 of the Platinum, 5,000 of the Lariat, and then it was like 2,500 of the XLTs and 2,500 of the Pros. So then the Pros like sold out right away. They were done. And then the next wave sold out the XLTs. So because people were wanting that cheaper price point. So those sold out really quick. And then it just left with people only being able to get Platinum or Lariat. So you either had to say you wanted it or pass and wait till 2023. So what Fisker's doing is they're releasing that higher trim first to start that revenue going, so that they can afford to give you that lower price point on that Sport trim.
And is you may have mentioned this on a previous chat that we've done. You mentioned today on your video, and I didn't know it until I watched your video, but the Ford Mach-E, the 2022 production model, is sold out for the remainder of the year.
Yeah,
is that the same?
They stopped selling those back.
Is that the same with the Lightning too? Is that the same with the Lightning as well?
They stopped. They only released. They sent out waves of invites to the early reservation holders. That only went through about, I think, 3 or 4 phases, and then they were sold out for the year. They only plan to make 15,000 the first year.
Got it.
And then next year it's going to be somewhere between 50 to 80,000 is what the expectation is. And then, so there's going to be some people that were way late reserving a Lightning that won't get it until 2024.
Oh,
So,
wow. That's
yeah.
interesting.
So that's kind of how that worked. And the Mach E sold out sometime around, I believe it was May, June, somewhere in there. I've got a video on it too, when it sold out. But yeah, they closed the ordering banks on that. They were just, nope, we're not taking any more orders. And then they had the big recall
Got it.
recently. So yeah.
Ugh. That's not good. That is not good. So going back to that earnings call, so we want production capacity. Another thing that I want to just hear, just an overall update. I want the warm and fuzzy that November 17th is still the actual production date. I don't see Fisker changing that as hey, this is the start of production date, but I'm sure we'll hear that at the beginning. November 17th, 2022 is the production date. But I also want to hear, as somebody mentioned, the overall update on Fisker Ocean reservations, pair reservations. How are those doing? Are they still tracking upwards? If people are not I think we're going to see a big uptick, maybe beyond the 58,000. And my hunch here is people aren't seeing as many Fisker Ocean One selling out, which means they're going to get maybe to the sport trim sooner than later. So maybe some people are thinking, well, all those 50,000 plus reservations, and don't forget, we mentioned this, I don't know, a few videos ago. Some people did 2 reservations. I've only done 1 Fisker Ocean reservation and 1 pair reservation, and actually with the pre-order of the Fisker Ocean One. But the people that did 2, are they really going to buy 2 Fisker Oceans? Maybe they are. I don't know. So when the rubber hits the road or meets the road, I said that earlier. I don't know exactly what the saying is. I should probably look it up. But if you were to reserve today, you might have a shot at getting your car in 2023 potentially, right? For people to say no, you can't, that may be totally wrong. You might be able to get your Fisker Ocean if you reserve today. You might get a Fisker Ocean in 2023, right? Especially if you want an Extreme, or you want an Ultra, right?
Yeah, your reservation point is not going to matter now if you decide you want an Extreme, because you may have 20,000 people in front of you that all want an Ultra and a Sport, and then you want an Extreme, so you'll get moved clear up in front of them because they're building the Extremes first.
So that's what I think. I think we may actually see, I was very conservative when I said 1,000 a week. We'll hit 58,000, and there's probably a lot of mathematicians and analysts that might be listening in, and they know a lot more than I do. But I think we're going to see an uptick. That's kind of just a gut feeling. If I didn't know much about the Fisker Ocean, I go, oh, I want the Extreme. I know they're going to do them. They'll deliver them in order. If a lot of people don't want the Ocean One, maybe they don't want the Extreme. So I want an Extreme. I want it now, because you can't get the Ford Mach E. And your video, basically told us that your video that did the smackdown head-to-head Fisker Ocean versus the Ford Mach E, Mustang Mach E, it smacked down the GT. I thought it was a better bang for the buck. It had a lot more value, and why wouldn't you want the Extreme then, right? So I think we're going to see a big uptick on reservations. I hope Fisker, nails that one for us, gives us some insight on that. Of course, the big room in the elephant, we want an update on Fisker Ocean One. That's the big one. I'm actually quite surprised, Jim, that we haven't seen a press release. We didn't get a press release that said, hey, pre-orders are open. Hey, we got all this stuff on social media, but pre-orders are open. This is the process you should expect, right? This is, what you should expect when you get the invite. They would have gotten a lot more coverage from social, from news websites, whatever. They would have gotten a lot more, people sharing stuff across social media. So I think that was a big miss on their part. Even if they wanted the non-refundable deposit, I could care less about that. But they should have done a better job of getting the word out there at the beginning and let people know, hey, we're going to start at reservation 1 and go through reservation 50,000. Right. Or whatever the number is by the time we get past 50,000. But I think they wouldn't have gotten that far. I think had they laid the groundwork.
Yeah, I think media-wise that they should have done a lot more because really the information that people are getting is coming from people making videos on YouTube, you doing what you're doing.
Ooh.
Right. I mean, and that's where most of the
The
people are getting their
videos.
information. I mean, I haven't ever seen a commercial for Fisker, for the Fisker One, anything.
And you're not gonna, right? You're not gonna get an ad or
Right.
anything.
And so it's like they
Yeah.
should have done some type of a press release somewhere saying, here, this is, it's open for, we're open for ordering, we're sending out emails. This is what the Fisker Ocean One is, and this is what you get. And done some type of thing to kind of promote it and try to get people fired up about it. But they didn't do anything, and it's kind of left it on our shoulders to try to promote it and get people more interested in
And
jumping on the ship.
yeah, they want people to promote the Fisker Ocean, because that's why they came out with their referral program, right? They want people to promote the thing. So for them to not want people to promote it, that would be not true. But they want people to say, "Hey, go buy a Fisker Ocean. Hey, go buy a Fisker Ocean One." And we've already reserved ours, so we can't, tell people to do anything more than that, right?
I mean,
and I've ended up pre-ordering mine.
I just look at it as I feel that they should have done some type of promotional thing when they are trying to sell out the first 5,000. When they're trying to get that first one out, they should have done more. Because I know that's part of the referral program. I understand that, but then it also makes it look like if there's an issue with it, well, your friend's the one that got you to order it, not us. So you gotta push the blame off if something did happen.
So this has been their marketing kind of after the fact, right? I'm sure everybody sees these. I'd love to hear in the comments, like, what do you think of these? These are the internal endorsements, or they have done a few where it's like people have shared their excitement on social media and they've quoted them. I think this is good, these type of endorsements, especially for this. This is the one that I pulled up. There's a few others that I could pull up too that I think are actually really powerful. But this would have been good in parallel to, say, a press release and things like that. But this is the endorsement from Bill McDermott, who's the CEO of ServiceNow. They're a massive technology company. I want to say Bill was also the CEO over at SAP at one point, and he said, "Henrik is the ultimate designer. I'm truly honored to be among the first to proudly own the Fisker Ocean One. This will be a generational product success, the first of many Fisker innovations that will define the marketplace." Like, that's a really powerful statement, and from a really powerful person that lives up in Silicon Valley. But a lot of people don't know who that is, and another person who they ended up doing a quote of was this gentleman right here. And I've heard of him, but I don't know much about him. He actually, from an article that I read, he ended up investing $50 million into Fisker. So his name's Louis Bacon, founder and chairman and principal investment manager of More Capital Management. I don't know too much about the company, but I Googled his name, looked him up, and I want to say he's somewhere in the, I'm going to get it wrong, but like 175 richest person in the world or something like that, or maybe it's the US. So he's very wealthy, and he's a big stakeholder in the company. But like, these would have been good. This is kind of like after the fact marketing, and I don't see it as, a lot of people see it as desperation and things like that. I don't see it as that, but he says, Fisker is disrupting and changing the automotive industry. It is, in caps, the car company of the future. I invested in the company and purchased the Fisker Ocean One because I believe the asset-light strategy, exceptional design, and great manufacturing partnerships, all with a firm commitment to sustainability. I am super excited to receive my big Sur Blue Fisker Ocean One. So anyhow, that's probably it there. So it's like, what else can Fisker do to help sell out the Fisker Ocean One, or do we just need to wait? It's a time game. We need to run out the clock, right? As they say in sports. Let's run out the clock.
Yeah, I don't know. Reading some of those things, I mean, they're coming from, for me, I'm looking at it as they're coming from people that have stake in the company. One of is like on the board of directors, and the other one has, like you said, put $50 million into the company. So it doesn't weigh a whole lot on me. Now, if it was more of like, say, you or I or someone who ordered one and they were asking people to make comments about why they chose it, and it was actually us that they were giving quotes on instead of people that had investment in the company itself, that would be a little stronger point for me. But then, people are just gonna be like, "Well, I don't know who that OSR garage guy is. It doesn't mean nothing to me."
Hold the press. Hold the press, Jim. Hold the press. I got something for you. There you go. There's one from somebody just like
Hey,
us. I want to be a part of a different future, sustainable, beautiful, and luxurious. Like those are the reasons why we ended up
right,
reserving the Fisker Ocean. And why we pre-ordered one. Like here's a few from people just like
okay,
us. There's their Twitter handle or Instagram handle, whatever it is. I'm excited about my Fisker Ocean One pre-order because I agree with Henrik's vision and model. It's just something you want to be a part of right away. So they're
okay.
just quotes from people like us. I feel like I am part of a family that is riding a huge wave into the future. So they got a
Well,
bunch of
that's
them.
good. That's
I don't need
good.
to read them all. We
That
get the
means that
idea.
means a little more,
Um,
but you know what I'm
a little
saying,
bit
though. I
more than
mean, and
I
I'm
get
just
you.
trying to speak like a normal person would think. It's like, oh well, they got a
Oh
stake in
yeah,
the company, so they're going to say whatever they think they need to say to try to get people to buy it. So I just want, that's good that they are putting people's comments on there. That makes it feel a little bit better.
yeah. That's true. That's
There
true.
was
Now let's switch gears. Oh, go for it. You
There
first.
was
You do that.
something
I'll
down
pull something up.
here that I saw. Somebody's asking about the destination charge, why it was so much, and I don't remember exactly what it was, like $2,300 or something like that.
Say that. Sorry, I just pulled up a video and it
Uh,
blared music in my ear. Go ahead and tell me what was
Somebody
the
had
question. I
asked why the
apologize.
destination charge was so high, and was it like 2,300 or something like that? Um,
I can't
yeah,
remember off the top of my head what
I
it
think
is.
right now, I think when I went and test drove the Ford Lightning, I think the sticker on it said this destination charge was like 1,800. So if it is 2,300, it's really not that far off, and I don't know if that also includes delivering it to your house because
So Thomas
you know,
said in the chat there, he said starts at 800 but could go up to 2,300 depending on where
okay,
it is delivered.
okay, so that makes sense. 800 was that's really
Doug,
low.
Doug says 2,400. So yeah, it's somewhere in that
Yeah,
ballpark. We all can go look up the terms of service or the terms and see
the
exactly what it
800,
is, but that gives
the
us a
800
ballpark.
must be Austria.
Yeah, right.
Because $800, that's pretty cheap to ship it all the way across the United States and pick it up.
Yeah, I know. So okay, so let's see here. Let's switch gears here. I'm gonna throw up a video and then we'll talk about it. And I'd love to hear what everybody else thinks. Oh, I gotta close all this. Man, there's just so much stuff. Okay, here we go. Tell me when you see my screen, Jim. Here we go. Here comes the screen. Bam! There we go. And I'm gonna blow it up here. Let's see here. Let me see what it looks like really quick. I'm so bad at this. Someday I will get good at this.
Okay.
Maybe, probably not. Okay, so there we go. This is a montage that I put together today just for
All
this.
right.
So I don't know if anyone's going to be able to hear it or not, but let me know if you hear it. It's going to blare in my
Okay.
ear. Okay, so
Let's take a sneak peek and see what's up here. Oh yeah.
So somebody asked me earlier today, how come I didn't walk around the whole car with that video? And I was like, well, I didn't take a video. So all I did was put it together.
Yeah.
So otherwise I would. Maybe I could go up there and drive around the streets of LA and maybe I'll get lucky and see the Fisker Ocean test vehicle. Maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I was watching the video where you were pointing out the things that were missing on it.
Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about
my,
the car right
my
now.
wife was sitting there, and her question was why would they send a test car without sensors and all this other stuff? Why, with all this stuff missing? That doesn't make any sense. Why would they do that? And I really didn't have an answer for her. I have no idea why there's not sensors and stuff on the car.
Yeah, so that's what I felt like. I saw holes in the back bumper.
Yeah.
Other people that read the article, they didn't see that. So it's, people see different things, I guess, or maybe it's a lack of not knowing what the sensor exactly looks like. But the Tesla Model 3 in the garage has sensors. I would imagine it's going to look something similar to those. I had a BMW 3 Series. Those had sensors in the bumpers and things like that. And I think I know what a sensor is, but maybe they are there. Who knows? They look more like they're there on the front of the vehicle than they do the rear of the vehicle. I'll tell you that one. But the thing that I noticed here, and I think most people can probably figure it out here, is the little ocean bit that's right here underneath the circular badge on the hood. That's gone. So I thought, well, wow, that you think you'd want that there. To your wife's point.
Yeah.
And then you have the Icon radar that's right here, that digital radar. It's going to be the first in any production vehicle, will be on the Fisker Ocean. Now, that is what the shape would be. I wonder, though, is it supposed to be mounted there? Typically, what we've seen in the other vehicles, it actually says Icon, and it has like kind of, it has like a logo of it.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, maybe it should look a little different.
It could be behind that. I mean, I know a lot of the cars now, it's just basically a black piece that sits in front, and that is actually the radar or whatever, on the other cars. And I was going to say about the Ocean being lit up, it's hard to tell whether the letters are there or not from that picture unless you were able to zoom in on it and you can actually see that nothing is there. But like our Volkswagen, it has a light up logo in the middle of it, but it only lights up at night when the lights are on, not when the running lights are on.
So you wouldn't even see it then?
Yeah, so you probably can't see it unless you can zoom in enough to see that the letters are not there at all.
I can't see it. That's as far as I can zoom in.
So, I mean, it's possible that they're there. It's just not able to light up unless the headlights are on.
Yeah. So then that Icon radar, I was going to throw up an image of that real quick. So we'll throw this up here. We can kind of see what I was talking about.
I'm going to say something real quick.
Go for it.
Jerry Lee has a point. Says there's 104 people in the chat room, but only 6 likes. He said, come on, guys, click the like. So, yeah, come on, guys, click the like button.
Yeah, right? Hit the like button. Yeah, so there's the Icon radar. So you can see it has the shape, but it doesn't have that little print. Maybe that print won't be there.
I wouldn't expect
that
the print
would look
to be
ugly.
there.
I'm not sure.
I mean, I wouldn't expect the print to be on there. I mean, that would be kind of tacky to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be. And then the license plate holder, not there from the looks of it, or maybe it's those two.
Do you need one in California?
Right there, those two little holes. You do. I always remove it. I ended up getting a fix-it ticket here in town for not having it. We parked the car for, I don't know, an hour. Me and my wife went on a walk during the week, and we ended up coming back, had a ticket, looked around. There was a couple other Teslas in the area. None of them had front license plates. All the Teslas, we didn't see one other car have a ticket on it other than the Teslas. We drove home down the coast, saw a Tesla on the side of the road where all the surfers park, and boom, they also had a ticket. So it was like, I don't know, 5 or 6 Teslas all had tickets for not having a front license plate. So you certainly need one. I ended up just putting 2-sided sticky tape on it, put it on there, went over to the to the sheriff office, had them sign off on it, and then when I left, I took it off. So I just don't like the look of it. I think it's awful.
KO says, "Isn't the Ocean supposed to have a digital license plate?" And as far as I know, no.
Digital radar.
Yeah, it's got a digital radar.
Digital radar, right?
The Ocean One has a digital signature, and
Correct.
then it's got a digital rear view mirror, doesn't it, or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah, digital rear view mirror. Yeah,
so
that's right.
That's no digital license plate. Depending on where you live, though, I think they have those through your state. You can get a digital license plate, so you can check on that. I'm not sure what states have that. Illinois does not have that.
Ooh. So let's pull up one other thing here. So I'm totally lost here right now. We're going to go here and let's throw up this one. This one's actually pretty. Oh, that's the video.
Thanks, Jerry.
But in the video here, you can see like the ocean letters there are missing, right? We knew that. These holes right here are where those sensors should be, and you don't see them.
If you remember, I think this one's supposed to have 13 sensors around it. Isn't that right?
Got it. I don't know off the top of my head.
I believe it was 13 sensors and 6 cameras, I think.
All right.
So, yeah, those would all be sensor holes.
Yeah, so that's what we noticed there. And then the lettering up here at the top was missing that we saw.
I wasn't sure if that was going to be something in the production anyway. Since it's just a graphic.
Got it. And then the hubcaps, the center caps.
Yeah, that's weird.
But I think it looks beautiful. The one thing that I really liked actually is the color. The colors look this particular color. So we've seen Big Sur blue, we've seen Silver Lining, and we've seen Blue Planet now. Those are the three that I can recall seeing actual photos of a real car being made. I think this Blue Planet, I thought, who would want a blue car? That actually looks quite nice. I actually really like that.
It actually is not a bad color.
No, it's really pretty. So it makes me excited to see the other colors in the lineup.
Yep, definitely.
So let's see here, Jim. What else did you have in mind that you wanted to chat about today? I don't want to keep you too long because you're not feeling well.
I'm all right.
All right. So let's pull this up. This is something kind of interesting. Actually, I'll go back. I actually lost a train of thought there, and a lot of the time it sounds like I'm rambling, and I'm rambling. So I apologize, everybody. But one thing that I wanted to talk about was actually a couple other things that I expect to see on the earnings call. Kind of went out of order because we were talking about the Say Technologies platform and people who didn't end up receiving how many oceans have been produced or been taken out of the 5,000 that are going to be produced. So that's why I pulled that up. So kind of got out of track here. The one thing that I wanted to talk about was a few different things in the earnings call. I'm hoping to get an update on a few things. One that's kind of important is when people are going to be able to be pre-qualified for a Fisker Ocean One or a Fisker Ocean Extreme or whatever it is. So today I got an email from somebody and actually two different people, an email from one person and a comment from another. And they said, I want the Fisker Ocean One, but I don't know if I'm going to qualify for the financing that Fisker offers. So my suggestion to one of the people that I've responded to was, if you're unsure of whether or not you can qualify for the financing of the $70,000 plus car, go to a different place right now before you commit to pre-ordering the vehicle. Go to like your local credit union or a different bank, your local bank, whatever that local bank may be, or wherever you bank now, and go do a pre-qual there right now, just to make sure you're not getting yourself in over your head. Right. Because some people might be expecting to do the financing and We don't know when that's going to come out. Like, I would imagine that's got to come out before they roll them off the production line in November.
I would think sometime in October they'll probably start trying to get that lined out.
So some people may have committed with the hope that they could potentially finance, but maybe they got their local financing done or financing through a local credit union. So that's that was one thing I want them to talk about. So financing. The other thing that I want them to talk about and reconfirm is the experience center. So we saw just this past week when I was in Palm Springs, I think it was Palm Springs, or maybe it was Sunday, actually. It was Sunday on the way home. They ended up doing, or Saturday, sorry, I'm losing track of dates. They ended up saying that they're going to start development or construction over at the Munich Experience Center. And the Munich Experience Center is going to be in the Mariaplatz, or about 2 or 3 blocks away. And that's the busiest street of the of Munich. It's the busiest street, from a reader who actually sent in photos. And if I would have woken up at the crack of dawn, I slept in that day, I would have posted the photos before Fisker posted the photos. So I blew that opportunity. That was kind of interesting. So I want an update on experience centers. We know there's going to be 2 open in November of this year. That's going to be Los Angeles at the Grove, and that's going to be Munich. So we can see the photos that Fisker posted. There they are. There's the Munich one. Brand experience centers. There you go.
That's crazy. I think
so I wanted
right out into the street.
Yeah, I think that's great. So it's all like walking. It's all pedestrian friendly, which is actually quite neat. We don't see that too much here. So it's like one big street, no cars allowed, and there's a big box with cars on it in the walkway. So that's kind of funny. So that's one thing. That's another thing I want to update. If you have things that you want Fisker to talk about, let us know. Another thing that I want them to talk about and reconfirm is when they're going to be updating the Fisker Flex e-app to do a few things. To one, update are they going to kind of roll out the configurator on the website? Is it going to be the app? How is this new 3D next gen configurator going to work? Is that going to be a mobile experience? Is it going to be a web experience? Yeah. So I want to just get an update on the configurator, how that's going to work in the app. I also want an update on test drives again, a recommitment or a commitment of what the dates are going to be. Service partners as well. I want them to share more information about service partners specifically here in the US. We have loads of information about Bridgestone and all of the companies that they own. The subsidiaries are going to be servicing vehicles in Europe, as well as the United Kingdom. Here in the US, they're going to partner with service providers to, do at-home service calls, etc. But I want to know more about that. I believe it's going to be Cox Automotive / Bridgestone, but we want a firm commitment on that one instead of reading the tea leaves. So those are the main things, as well as I want to see the company give us obviously an update on their cash burn. That's probably one of the most important things. Are they going to be raising more capital at the end of this year, early 2023? They did talk briefly about that on the last earnings call, but more information, the better. That's about all I want from the earnings call. And then the Fisker Ocean One update, that's probably the big one, the one that's probably on most investors' minds.
Yeah, Doug asked if we could please keep trying to get Henrik to live stream on your channel. We would love that.
Yeah, I have reached out to them again. I've been in contact with them on numerous occasions, and I have been told that Henrik has a really busy schedule, and they'll get back to me in 3 weeks. Now, they told me that 3 weeks ago, so I've been very persistent, and I'll continue to be persistent, and maybe it'll happen at some point. And if it's not a live video, maybe it'll be a recorded video, or who knows what it'll be. But I'm going to keep trying. So that's the fun of doing this. At least it's fun for me. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this.
Right.
So let's see here. Now I'm going to pull up some stuff that I I talked about earlier today, and maybe some people have had a chance to look at it if you haven't. There's a member on the Fiskarati Forums who is creating this really good list, and he just organized it today. It's all the questions, all the questions that have been in this forum, and it includes answers that have been given by Fisker, either through press releases, through social media, through rag givers, if you will. That's the advisor that you can engage over on the Fisker site and in the app, as well as just other tidbits that they may have heard in media, etc. So it includes, questions broken down. It's Bayou Bob that actually put it together, and we pinned it to the top of the forum. So you can go ahead and check that out. It's broken down by powertrain range and DCFC. So it talks about a lot of different specifications that people want to know, interior or exterior mechanical features, ground clearance, height with lift gate open. So some of the stuff you've covered in your videos, Jim, but there's a lot of stuff still missing. Yeah. And we got a photo just this other day with Henrik Fisker's test car, and all the windows are blacked out in the rear. So people are wondering, what is that? Is that going to be, is it tint? Is it IR blocking? Right. What is it? So that's another one that's recently been added. Now we have questions.
Most of the time with SUVs, the back windows are a privacy glass. Most of the time. Not always. Sometimes the lower trims don't get it, but normally every one that we have ever gotten has had the privacy glass in the back.
Gotcha.
I was going to say, Jerry Lee was asking if we had any idea about why the horsepower was removed from the app, and if we were worried about it going. I'm not worried about the horsepower numbers going down. I think that they probably, when they were doing their testing and track testing over there, they had to make some adjustments to some things, and it could be higher. I mean, if one of the trims may be lower because they decided to put a package together for an extra purchase package, that if you wanted the higher horsepower number or whatever, then you could purchase that. I don't know for sure, but I'm not concerned about them pulling the numbers down. I mean, most of the time when you post numbers like that, you're not going to turn around and drop them by 100 or something like that. If it's off from a little bit, it might be 15 or 20, which really isn't going to make a difference anyway. So I just don't have any concern with that. I don't know what you think about that.
Oh, I got some strong opinions about that, but I'm just going to start by just showing this. So I'm going to move us over here. So this is the thing that I have the strong opinion about. So they removed, as an example, they removed the horsepower off the site, right? But they have a press kit section on the site as well. And in the press kit, it actually has the, let's see here, I just had it up right there, horsepower. This is the Fisker Ocean One, standard features on launch edition Fisker Ocean One. This was published in February. So February is not too far back in the past. And that is at 550 horsepower, performance 0 to 60, 3.6 seconds. Right. So it's still listed in various places on the site. This just happens to be one place. Yeah. I could probably find at least one other. I'm going to say probably three places. So there are places on the site that it is. It could be that they don't tell us why they remove stuff or why they add stuff. We don't know that. It's kind of like a black box. That's kind of what makes it fun, makes it frustrating for some people. But it makes it frustrating for me, but I'm okay with it to some extent. Now, they may do it because they find out that maybe a lot of people who are buying the vehicles, maybe they don't care about horsepower. Maybe they just care about the design, or they care about the California mode, or the solar sky roof, or whatever it may be. They care about those features. They don't care about the horsepower. Now, a lot of people do care about the horsepower and the 0 to 60 and those type of details, but maybe they think it's an information overload. And they're like, we're going to pull that stuff from the site. Right. Who knows? So that is some, that's kind of what I think, but it's still listed just so everybody knows. Until it's removed out of these press kits, I still like. I think the press kits to me are the most official thing that you can have.
It is.
If it's in the press kit, then to me it's like it's a Fisker Bible, if you will. If it's there, if the media is going to write about something, they're going to the press kit. If Fisker wants updated information, they'll put it in the press kit first. That's my opinion.
It's almost like they have to print a retraction if they do it, because it's out there for everyone, right there in black and white. Just because it's not on the app really doesn't mean a whole lot.
Yeah. So that's to hopefully put some people's mind at ease if they're concerned about that. And I'll go ahead and include this link for those that want to look at it. You can
these press kits are really good. Everybody can get to those press kits if you go onto the website and go to the news. I think it's under newsroom, I think. And
correct.
Then
that's correct.
You go into the press thing and you can get these press releases all the way back for like 2 or 3 years, I think. And you can
there's so many.
You can look at everything, all the joining of Magna and Fisker and Foxconn and Fisker. They've got all the releases and all the information and all that stuff, if you guys are interested in
that. Adjunct junk 4321. Press kits for sure not reliable. Comms people never find out about these things unless highly coordinated change. I think I would agree with that at at an Amazon or a massive company, but Fisker only has say 400 employees, 450 employees. I would hope everyone's in sync there, especially with a huge rollout like this, but maybe not. We'll find out. Cool Picks 222, 99% chance that they overestimated horsepower. They need to measure it at the wheels, not peak, not theoretical. You can tell that HP is likely down with revised 0 to 60 at 3.9 seconds.
That 3.9 seconds 0 to 60 was on the Ultra. The Extreme is 3.5 because it has 10 more horsepower and the torque is different. So I don't think that they overestimated it. And when you're talking about Magna has all that equipment there that does all that range testing and all that stuff. So if they've got numbers, then they actually have those numbers. If you got any questions on that stuff, you can go to Out of Spec YouTube channel. They actually have a thing right there at Magna where they show how they do the WLTP and the
yeah, those videos are really good.
So,
those out of spec videos.
Yes, those guys are really good, and they give you a lot of details on that. I don't think the horsepower is out of whack by any means. They basically they're putting two of the same motors in the front and the back, and the front wheel drive by itself had 275. So you add a second one to that, and you get 550. Then the rest of it's just software. And they can always bump that up. It doesn't really matter what they have it stated at. They're not going to state it at their maximum. I mean, if you look at how many times Tesla has upped their horsepower just by sending out a software update. So, there's no reason to think that the horsepower numbers aren't achievable or aren't accurate.
Yeah. So here's another discrepancy, if you will, that we can talk about. So key fob with California mode, one provided per vehicle, right? That's the Fisker Ocean One and the Extreme in this press kit from February 24th. If we scroll down here to the Fisker Ocean Sport, you'll notice it's no longer there. So it is listed though on the website. So that key fob, no dice, according to this. But you do have app is key. Right. Everything has app is key. And that'll be interesting, having app is key. Now, I wish they also had a key card. Other people are saying they wish it had like RFID, something. I as long as I can get in the car and start it, I'm okay. That's what I'm hoping for. You buy a car, you hope to be able to easily get into it and drive.
Yeah, and I've never had like app as a key on anything. So the one thing that we have an issue with is like if My wife she drives the car, the ID4 most of the time, so she has the keys down in her purse. Now, if I go to drive, if I grab the spare set so that I have the spare set, we get out and go to leave, and the key fob is in her purse, and she leaves her purse in the car, and we can't lock anything. It won't lock, or it starts beeping at you, and it might lock, but it's like telling you, hey, the key fob is inside, and it's like starts beeping and making a bunch of noise, and it's like, okay, that's fine. So I don't know if app as a key would work the same way if she's sitting in the car or leaves a phone in the car. I don't know how that works.
So we've had that app is key. So I have, as I mentioned, I have the key fob. I think I talked about that. I got the Tesla key fob thing here. Works really well. I also have the key card for the Tesla in the wallet here, which is actually useful. This is actually really good to bring on a run, because then I don't have to actually carry a phone if I don't want to carry a phone or keys. Really nice. But I heard some people have like little rings that have RFID things in them, and they don't have to bring anything other than their ring. That's actually kind of cool. So it will be neat if Fisker supports that. That would be really neat. But we've never had an issue with me and my wife getting in the car when we both have app as key or the key card in our wallets or her purse, in my wife's purse. So we never have an issue with that. So
there was another point. This guy adjunct to junk, I guess a 4, 3, 2, 1. He said he drops his wife and kids off, and she has the key in her purse, and he drives off without any keys. And I have done that. I've dropped my wife off at church, and she's gone inside, and I have no key for the car. So I pull, it'll let me drive off, but as soon as I park and shut it off, I can't do anything after that unless I have the key. So I can get out, and I can't even lock the doors because it doesn't recognize that I have a key, so it won't let me lock the doors.
Interesting. That is interesting. Yeah, we've never experienced that one yet. But that would be bad if you go drive somewhere and you forget that you have a key and then you're stranded.
That's what he just said. He says if I turn the key off, I'm screwed.
That wouldn't be very fun. So let's see here. Anything else that anybody wants to talk about? Any questions? We're definitely thank you all 91 people who are still watching, or maybe some new joiners. We haven't actually said once, go ahead and subscribe to our channels. Jim and I do this for fun, so go ahead and subscribe to our channels. You go to youtube.com/OSR Garage or youtube.com/Fiskarati. I think I put at the link. Go ahead if you like this beautiful shirt. You can wear one too. I'd be really cool to see a picture of somebody wearing one other than myself. I actually like the other one better, that has just the reverse of this, where it has Fiskarati in red. But hey, there's some merch in there. There's a link down below. You can check that out. But more importantly, subscribe to the channel. Download the Fiskarati app on the Apple App Store and Google Play if you haven't done that. Anything you want to say, Jim?
Rosanna wants to see more of you. She said more videos longer than 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. Of you or me?
I don't do 30-second videos. Mine, I think people would rather me do 30-second videos.
Oh, don't say that.
No, I was just going to say, over at OSR Garage, I post videos twice a week, and got a lot of different things on electric vehicles, gas-powered vehicles. I mean, I still like gas-powered vehicles. Even though electric is the way that we're heading. But, the gas vehicles are going to be around for a while, and there's some pretty cool ones out there. So I try to cover all of that stuff. And I will be doing a Sunday nights. I will be doing a EV live broadcast. And I'm going to have a few different guest people on. Sean, you're always invited.
Thank you.
The one I did on Wednesday night, I had Joe from JKEV on here. I think this Sunday night, if we work it out right, it's going to be Larry Lynch. If you don't know Larry Lynch, he has a lot of stuff on the F-150 and covers a lot of electric scooters and bikes and different things like that. And then I've got to get in contact with a few others, and hopefully I have a different guest each week. And we're just going to talk about EVs.
Very nice.
So,
very cool. What time are you planning to do those?
Probably about the same time. It's probably going to be around 8 o'clock is what the plan is right now. It could fluctuate a little bit, but I'll make sure that I notify everybody that day what time we're going to start. So,
got it. All right. I'm going to try something fun real quick. Yep. Ready?
Hey, that's weird. Are we in Europe or what? Are we in England?
We just switched. We did. We're switched here. I'll put it back. I don't want to confuse people. So let's see here. Any other questions?
Yeah, they asked about remote start and heat and cool the ocean before entering. Yeah, yes. On the Extreme, it's the winter package. If you option for the winter package on the Ultra and above, I think it may be an option on the. Is it an option on the Sport? I think so. Yeah, see, there's an optional winter package. If you get the winter package, then remote climate control is included in that.
Yeah, the winter packaging comes included on the Extreme and the Ocean One.
Yes.
That's a part of it.
Yeah, and then it's optional on the other two trims.
Now, we get a lot of questions talking about when to package, I think, of heated seats. Now, a lot of people are asking for ventilated seats.
I haven't seen them.
I've never had a car that's had ventilated seats before. Have you ever sat in one?
It's nice.
You have?
Yeah, it's nice to keep
It's basically like is it actually air conditioned?
I think it's just more of an airflow. Some they say air conditioned, but it is cooler air. I don't know if it's like full air conditioned or not, but there is definitely ventilated, and it does keep you cool down there. It's pretty nice.
Especially for the people who live in hot climates like Arizona. That's usually the people that ask us. Yeah, it's funny. So what else here? We have our slipstreams and air gliders, just aesthetic difference. I would say so. The wheel structure looks slightly different. I'm not a wheel expert by any means, but I think the myth has been busted. I think somebody said, a few people have thought that not only are the Aero Stealth they have like wheels and they have like, I don't know what the right term is, spokes is probably the wrong term. But then they have a cover that goes around it that gives it more dynamics. Now, people were saying that and this is not just one particular social media site. I follow a whole bunch of different sites. And a lot of people thought for one point until Henrik got his Fisker Ocean test vehicle this week, people were thinking that the Slipstream and the Air Glider were also covers. And they're not. They're like full-on metal. Yeah, alloy. So no covers there. So it's just a preference. All this is preference. Whether you want you want to hold out for the solar orange, or you like the blue planet, or you want to wait till 2023 for the red planet, or you like Big Sur blue, the matte finish. All of it's preference, and that's cool. Fisker gives us a lot of different options for preferences. If you like, the Slipstream, if you like that carbon fiber insert, so that's going to be an insert. Now, I don't know how the insert actually sits within the wheel. Maybe it's popped in somehow, so it doesn't come out, and maybe it's glued in as well, or riveted, or who knows what. No, she doesn't like it. Yeah, I like the air gliders the best. I think those are going to be a good wheel, but it's all preference. Whoever asked that question, the comments have already moved. And then the interior as well. We know now that there's several different interior options. There's going to be like a full fabric one. There's going to be a full PU polyurethane material, like a fake leather pleather one. And then there's going to be various combos of the pleather and the I'm going to butcher this one. I'm losing my train of thought, but there's various options. We wrote about it. All the details are in there. If you search, interior. But yeah, it's like a fabric material, and then the suede. That's what I was thinking. Suede. I couldn't think of it. There's one that's eco suede and eco leather combo, like the sea salt and the Malibu. So those are all preference.
Yep. Jerry, I have not seen any pictures of the 20s without the covers on, so I don't know what they look like underneath. I know, like,
Now, somebody.
I know Tesla. They actually have pretty cool wheels underneath their covers that they put on. But I haven't seen any with the Ocean yet.
So somebody ended up photoshopping this today, and it's actually a really good Photoshop. So I'm going to throw it up here on the screen. Let's see this image. It's actually my answer. So it's a 7-spoke wheel, a 20-inch 7-spoke wheel photoshopped onto a Fisker Ocean. And here you go. Let's see this. Boom.
Ooh. I hope that's not what it looks like.
Yeah, right. I don't like that particular rim choice, but that's what a 20-inch 7-spoke wheel looks like on the Fisker Ocean. If that's, I think so that's another thing. Like, people asked me this week, why did you write an article about Bridgestone tires and the Potenza and the Olenza? Well, one was so that I have a good understanding of what wheel options there are. The second one was I wanted to know which ones were going to come on the Fisker Ocean One, so I got to learn about that when I wrote the article. And then I also wanted to know about the different performance that I should expect with each of the two different tires that are going to be on the vehicle. Now, in doing that, I ended up learning the answers to those questions, and then I saw loads of different images of photoshopped wheels and tires of Bridgestone on different Fisker Ocean wheels that really weren't Fisker Ocean. Fisker didn't make them themselves. It was just people trying to figure it out. So when I did all the research for the article, I got to see that, and somebody must have been thinking the same thing, and they asked to have this Photoshop. So there's one there for you.
All right. Alex, he said he's repeating an unanswered question. And is torque vectoring included on all three of the levels, trim levels? I'm guessing it means, and it appears that Fisker does not show it as a standard feature on the Ultra. No, the Sport, it does not. I have not even seen it offered as an option. But on the Ultra, it is an option. It's the Smart Traction. On the Ultra is an optional Smart Traction, and then the Extreme and the One, it does come standard. So hopefully that answered your question for you. Anything else?
How you hanging in there? You hanging in there?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Just can't breathe through my nose.
You feel like death? So as we're doing a talk here, somebody emailed me and says, I have a neighbor who ordered the Ocean One today. His reservation was in June. Don't know the exact day. Have another friend who reserved yesterday and is dedicated to buy Ocean One if he gets the email. This person said, I'm not sure how to post to the live forum, so I'm emailing you instead. So there you go. There's another one while we're talking. I'm not going to share the email because that has the person's email address on it.
So
there's
Matthew said, he says, read this, and it says, Fisker is producing cars 2 years ahead of normal industry production standards. If a few emblems or pieces are missing, it is because he is getting a test vehicle. Yes, a test vehicle. But my thing is that I would think if it is a test vehicle, it's supposed to test things, so why would it be missing sensors? That'd be part of what you would want to be testing. Other than that, then now you're just testing how it drives around, and it's just like any normal car. But I would just think if it's going to be a test car, then it would be fully equipped to test everything.
I would agree with that. Yeah, you'd want a pretty complete car, especially we're only, 100 How many days is it
Yeah.
till November 17th? Let's say 110. That's probably
And I
wrong.
haven't heard them. They have said nothing about any type of supply issues, which of course, you wouldn't
113
expect them to
days.
come out and just openly say it, but they have said several times that they have secured all of their stuff, supply issues, anything like that has all been taken care of and it's all been secured ahead of time. They have said that several different times.
They have, and they're trying to figure out how to increase capacity by getting more supplies or more parts from their suppliers. And Magna's the fourth largest parts supplier in the world. So they have a lot of the parts that Fisker needs to build these Oceans, but there's other parts like the screens and things like that will come from another partner. I think the screens actually happen to come from Foxconn or a Foxconn subsidiary. But there's parts that come from other places. We don't know what they are. And those were the ones that Fisker, Henrik in particular, mentioned that those are the companies that they need to get on board with increasing the capacity for supply. So that's the bit that I want to have the company talk about on Wednesday of next week, or a week away from that during the earnings call.
So yes, Matthew, the sensors could be underneath there, but then there's just open holes that are sitting there on that back bumper. So if the sensors are there, then they don't have any covers over them. So, and I don't know, whether you have to worry about them getting wet or anything like that, but
yeah, they could be shiny black, right? They could be super shiny black that makes them have a reflection of a hole, but they do look like holes.
But I mean, if it's in a painted area, why would they be shiny black if they were in a painted bumper? So most of the time that's painted they're painted the same as the bumper. So I don't know. I really don't know, and none of us really know. We're just kind of speculating. But it just looks like they're missing a few things that you would think would be on Henrik's personal test vehicle. It would be fully loaded with everything.
That's right. That's what I would think too. What else can I pull up here that might be interesting? I think we got 80 people here hanging out with us. What do they want to see, Jim? What do you guys want to see? You want to see anything here? What else can we show you? Shiny Black is my old rap name. Oh, that's funny.
Oh boy.
Were
you part of the JTP?
Is that a band?
No. Goldberg's. Yeah, I don't know if you ever watched Goldberg's.
I've seen that show once. Yeah, I don't know much about that. But isn't one of the guys on that show? Oh, got it. That's funny.
Oh, after the earnings call, they're asking if we're going to stream after the earnings call.
So that's a good question. The earnings call is at 2 p.m. The call will get done at 3 p.m. So it just really comes down to schedules. I'm happy to do one after the earnings call if Jim's around. Otherwise, I'm happy to do one, and Jim can join me in the evening, and we can chat about what happened in the week. Either or.
Is that 3 p.m. your time? Is that what you mean?
It'd be 3 p.m. my time. It would be 5 p.m. your time on Wednesday of next week.
Yeah,
is when it would be over the earnings call. Usually they end right about 3 p.m.
It would just depend on what time I get out of work. If I'm out of work by then. But other than that, otherwise we can do it later that night also. So that's not a problem.
And I may actually, if I'm around and I'm free, I may actually just stream the earnings call here and talk about it while it's happening. I may do that. Give a thumbs up in the chat, or that sounds fun in the chat, and maybe we'll do that. But that would be a lot earlier, and a lot of people probably won't be off work by then.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to do that. I actually love listening to the earnings call.
You probably
I'll actually be typing an article while I'm listening to it, so I probably won't be talking a whole lot.
But you'd probably be able to explain some things that people may not quite understand. And because I would probably listen to that and not have a clue half of what they're talking about. But
the funny thing is the financial bit of the earnings call is such a small portion of the entire call. It's only like, say it's less than 20%, or it's 80-20 rule. It's going to be 20%. The rest of it's the updates that everybody wants. is usually what it is. It's about the Fisker Ocean production. In this case, it's going to be about pre-orders. Hopefully, it'll be about Fisker Finance, Fisker Insurance, Fisker. I don't know what else. Trade-ins is another one people want to have answered. When are they going to be able to trade in their vehicle? If you're going to end up being able to potentially take delivery of your Fisker Ocean in November, when are you going to have an opportunity to trade in your vehicle? Now, this earnings call is going to be on August 3rd. So if we were to go out 3 months from that, you have September, October, November 3rd. So that is running up really close so we're going to have one more earnings call after Wednesday of next week before the start of production. So it would be good to know a lot of these answers now than on the next earnings call if Fisker's gonna keep things close to their vest.
No, we haven't heard anything about noise level inside the vehicle. We probably won't see that until whenever the media goes over and drives. Some of them carry the little sound testers and do some of that stuff. So, but if they do that media drive, we're still not going to find out until after that media drive is done, because a lot of times they have a restriction on when they can post their videos so that everybody does it all at the same time. Somebody doesn't have like a leg up on somebody, because sometimes those media things go on for a couple weeks where they bring people in. So then nobody can do anything until a certain time. So we're not going to hear anything about noise level until those type of things and videos start coming out. Hopefully we'll get a chance to be able to do something like that, and I'll make sure I get one of those so we can test that and bring it to you. But we won't hear about that stuff for a while. They just said, I just received the email to pre-order the Ocean One today. I reserved on May 29th of 2022. So
there you have it.
Somebody in May.
Now, if people wanted to, if this person is that Hugo?
Yeah, Hugo.
Thank you for joining us. So, we talked about that at the very beginning of the call. I ended up reading off. I showed some examples for the people who are joining now. The Fisker Ocean wasn't sold out this morning. Even early afternoon, it wasn't sold out. So it still may not be sold out. Doesn't mean it won't sell out tomorrow. It won't sell out next week, or it won't sell out before the earnings call. Even if it doesn't sell out before the start of production of November 17th, we talked about how we believe they being Fisker, will still end up starting production on the 17th. They'll start rolling out Fisker Ocean Ones off the assembly line or out of the garage factory and the Magna factory. And, they have people that want to buy the Fisker Ocean One. I'm one of them. So they'll gladly take my money. I'm totally fine with forking it over, and to do so, I'm going to have to sell the car in the garage. And I think I'm going to I've been looking into that, Jim. I think I'm going to end up doing that through like the Auto Trader website or something like that, as opposed to like selling it as a private party, as opposed to doing a Carvana or a CarMax or one of those. The vehicle has, I don't know, 7,500, 8,000 miles on it, somewhere between there. And Carvana, they take quite a big chunk and then turn around and tack a 25% fee on top of it, from what I've seen. Yeah, the Tesla Model 3 seems like it's so high in demand right now, and I don't know if it'll be like that when it's time to sell it, but I would imagine I'm gonna sell it. Maybe I probably won't be in November. I don't think I'll be a lucky one to take delivery of the Fisker Ocean One in November, but maybe December, maybe January, possibly.
Yeah, I know those cars a lot of people like those cars. So.
I think it came down to how many people they sent emails out on the 5th of July. Was it the 5th, 6th, 7th? No, it was before. So July 4th was July 4th, 5th, 6th. Yeah, so the first day when they did the pre-orders, they must have only sent out a batch of like 400 or 500 email invites. And as we saw on the forums and on social media, not a lot of people took them up on that, but some people did. So there might be, say, at most, say 250 people of the 500 reserved, pre-ordered the Fisker Ocean on day one. Day two was that big wave of emails that went out. I was one of the people. I got the email, I don't know, 5 a.m., but I didn't pre-order until 8:30, 9 o'clock. So how many people got the pre-order email ahead of me and actually did it? 1,000, 2,000, I don't know, maybe less, maybe at 500. So I could potentially be in November, December, January to take delivery of the vehicle. That'd be pretty fun.
Somebody was asking about getting Kyle from Out of Spec to work with us and get an interview with Henrik, which through Magna. And the thing is, it probably would be easier for us to talk to Henrik than for us to talk to Kyle, to get Kyle to because Kyle has a lot of stuff going on. He's over in Europe right now. They've got like 6 channels or something like that. They just hit.
It's a big time operation, right? They got a lot of people that it's actually like a company.
Yeah,
right? Like they have like there's a whole bunch of different personalities and everything. On the channel.
And they just hit 100,000 subscribers on one of their channels, so they're way up on the totem pole. And to be looking down at us down here at the bottom, there's probably there's not much we're going to be able to offer them. And, it's one of those things you want to have an equal exchange. Like you and I are pretty much around the same grouping of YouTube, if you want to talk about it that way, kind of grouping of media. So for us to work together is good and we grow together. But for somebody that's that high up, it's really, there's not enough benefit for them. And
another thing too is they don't currently work with Fisker that I'm aware of. Like I haven't seen too many videos. There's been some videos, maybe one, but they're sharing a lot. And with that relationship that they have with Magna, which is a sponsor on their channel. There have been a couple sightings that could potentially be a Fisker Ocean on a lift or something like that in the background or on the side, like a side shot. Like, oh, look, there's a Fisker Ocean, and that's cool and all, but it's also not always apparent that it is a Fisker Ocean. It could be something that looks similar as they're testing different technology. As Magna actually makes a lot of the technology that's going to be inside the Fisker Ocean, and that's great.
I think somebody had asked they were doing a live stream of their 100,000 subscriber whenever they hit that, and somebody had asked them if they were going to test the Fisker Ocean, and the only thing he said is, when it's ready, we'll test it. So that's just telling me that they know through Magna that they're gonna be one of the first ones that'll get tested, because they have that they have that sponsorship from Magna and everything. So they're just like, yep, as soon as it's ready, we'll test it. And that's all they said, and they just left it at that and went on. And that's the first time I've even heard them even say anything about the Fisker Ocean, except for when he was doing one of his promos for Magna. He did make a point to say that they are building the Fisker Ocean, but then that's really been it.
Got it. That's interesting. So will they refund the $5,000 if for some reason they decide not to build the Ocean One? I think there's nothing certain, but I would say 99.9% certainty they're gonna build the Fisker Ocean One. Like, I don't see why they wouldn't. They already got people that have given the deposit. But in the event, maybe if they didn't do it, they may refund it. They would have to probably do that by law, but I don't think we're near there. We're not there.
I don't.
It's not on the table right now.
It's not that they're not going to build it. Even if they only say there was 3,500 of them, that's all they sold. Then they may just stop at 3,500 and be like, okay, well, we decided this is how many we got sold, and we're going to stop at 3,500. So now you might have one of 3,500 instead of one of 5,000, which actually might make it more valuable later on. So it's not a bad thing if they don't completely sell out of it. I mean, maybe for them, but for us, it really doesn't matter. You got a dress going on back there. Is that yours?
Yeah, that's my daughter. Just came on up here. She's probably like, "Why are you still talking?"
It's princess dress
Hey,
time.
you want to show it off here real quick? No.
All right. I do think I am going to
You're
head out of
toast.
here.
All right. I think we did a good run tonight.
Yeah.
An hour and 45 minutes. And Bill, hey Bill, thanks for joining. I just saw you. You might have been here forever. But thank you for joining. Thank you for commenting on the YouTube videos. Thank you everybody for commenting on the YouTube videos. That's another fun place to chat. And then if you haven't subscribed to our channel, we've only asked you once through the whole video, like after probably everybody left,
Right.
half the people, but thank you very much. Please subscribe to our channel. We like to grow our channel, and it just makes it more fun. We get more people. And I actually want to also try to invite, at some point, I want to try to invite some of the people in the chat, Jim. I don't know what you think about this. Might be a little risky, but I think we have some good listeners and people that join. I think it'd be fun to find a way to invite them to be guests on the show. And then we have a different level of show. It'd be kind of fun to throw some new faces in here if people are into that. I don't know. I'd love to take a quick, would anybody that is watching still, we have 83 people, and not all the 83 people are actually on YouTube, just so you know. Jim and I see people that are on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitter. But one thing that I was doing before YouTube was the Twitter Spaces. And one of the people who I've done a YouTube video with, Bill, he's like, YouTube's good and all, but it doesn't let people, speak up or talk other than the chat. I don't mind the chat, but it would be cool to have people up here, and I would just have to provide a link, and maybe I could pin the link, Jim, to the top, and people click it, and if they want to join, they come into our green room, just like when we join and we're in the studio, and then we just have to see who they are, and we go, okay, that person looks cool. Let's add them to the channel. I don't know how we'll do it, but it would be fun to have some faces that we see in these pictures show up, and even with the people that have the G and the B, like Gary and Boratano here, that would be fun to just get people on here, and just an idea.
I mean,
see how that goes. We'll try that maybe.
Yeah,
sometime.
we can always try it. It doesn't work out exactly right, then it doesn't work out. But all I just say is don't try not to do anything. I don't know how to explain it. Don't do anything that will put us in violation of YouTube policy. So think about it that way.
Hey,
if you wouldn't talk that way or say things like that in church, then don't say it on here either. But
there you go. So we'll cross that bridge when we figure that out. That would be good. But yeah, maybe we'll do that one of these times. It doesn't look like what says. Bill says you can invite people with a browser plugin. That would be interesting. If you know what that browser plugin is, Bill, I would love to check it out. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
I'll do some research there. Anyhow, thank you everybody for joining us today. It was a pleasure to chat with you, Jim. A pleasure to have everybody on the call. And Bill would like to join.
Cool.
Great. Bill, that would be great. So we will try to do it. So if you can, I'll comment a link on one of your videos. Perfect. Thank you so much. So there we go. We might have our first guest there.
Sounds good to me.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much from Fiskarati and on behalf of OSR Garage. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, guys.
And we'll try to do this again next week. We'll try to figure out the time with the earnings call. Maybe we'll do 2. Maybe we'll just do 1. We'll sync up and figure that out. But thank you guys very much. Thank you, Rosanna. Thank you, Hugo. Thank you, Matthew. And thank you, Rosanna, again. You're welcome. It's our pleasure. All right, everybody. You have a good night, and we'll